amazing. Oh, it's clash heads again. This is like Chaz Moskin and Cam Waters.
It's motorsport, but not as you know it. Test yourself and your everyday road car. Safe, affordable, but most of all, fun. And all you need is your daily driver. Experience the thrill of a sprint day, race against the clock at a hill climb, or test your reflexes with an auto test. It takes just 3 simple steps to get started. Get on the start line. Search Motorsport Australia Daily Driver today.
Fishies in a row. They're here to make a point and to do Eddie proud. They fan out in the background as they come down to turn 1 for the first time. It all looks pretty good, 2 by 2. We'll stop the camera here. Oh, Eddie would be proud, mate. That was awesome run around turn 1. But, oi! Contact with the fishies.
He's made it through. It doesn't look like Angus has made it, but Thomas Freeman's made it through, and Angus is going to suffer the crowd coming through there to be able to turn his car around.
I love riding. It's a real social thing. There's a great bond between riders.
Every weekend I look forward to getting out there. It's a freedom like no other.
Riding to work is a great way to start the day.
Shannons insure all types of road bikes, not just classics. They offer features riders really want. It's why they're one of Australia's leading motorcycle insurance providers.
Whatever you ride, whatever you ride,
Whatever you ride,
ride with Shannons.
Call 134646 for a quote.
And they are off. It was a good start from Dylan to Bono. I think Phil Vella got a great start there in the background as well. You can see already cars going 5, 6 wide as they're trying to find any semblance of space. They come into T1. So far we've got 2, 3 wide as they snake down. There's Michael Culture that's got around Dylan de Bono. A couple of cars going wide there. Was that a bit of contact in the back? Scott Pocock caught up in that, I think, there, buddy. But it's Michael Cullajar's got past, so Dylan...
light is coming out and we're about to get going, and we have green lights and a very slow start for the 86s, but they are moving out there on the grid. It would be very interesting to see exactly which driver can capitalise on this first lap. Just go through the grid. Look like Jamie Christensen had a really awesome start to get ahead of Dylan de Bono, and Doug Gowage also jumped his teammate as well, so unfortunately Dylan stalled the car a little bit more than what he preferred. But
Weekend in, weekend out, Motorsport Australia officials are making waves. From waving flags, waving cars through pit lane, or responding to a wave for help. Wave hello to new lifelong friends. Who knows, you might just make waves around the world. Ride the first wave. Search Motorsport Australia officials today.
Still great classes of car, and if you are able to, if you're coming up the ranks on iRacing through the licenses, it's a fantastic sort of laneway into prototype driving, going from that GT3 up through the prototype classes as the safety car pulls in and we get ready to go green as we come up towards the line. Edwards, Hasler, who's going to get the jump down to turn 1, or will any of the fishies, any of the piranhas in behind them, assault them down towards
green and they're off.
First lap? Let's go here.
We've always had a few cars. They're all special. The T-Bird.
Oh, that's mine.
The Combi for when we want to get away. The XR8.
It's going to be a classic.
They're all insured with Shannons.
We've also got Shannon's home and contents cover,
which helps protect our automotive collectibles, tools and memorabilia in the home and garage. If you're motoring enthusiasts like us, it's got to be
Shannon's.
Shannon's, insurance for motoring enthusiasts. Call 134646 for a quote.
This is amazing. Oh, it's clash heads again. This is like Chaz Moskin and Cam Waters. Almost the same situation. Better contact going down the hill. Sam Noble wants to sniff on Dave Coleman now. Sam Noble bottle right now because Tell you what, Bruce Tanek and Jamie Dyson just absolutely drove away from us. Hayden trying to go around the outside. This is where he could have just sent it up the inside, but he hasn't committed, which is fair enough. It's very scary out there, ladies and gentlemen. Now let's see if we get some good runs. God's just absolute thinker, but it is a really nice move. Blake Delaney had to move out of the way.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever it is that you are located here this evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to round number 4 of the Warren and Brown Tools V8 Supercars series here on Tuesday nights, brought to you here by Sim Racing World TV. I'm your commentator here this evening, Hamish Munro. Joining me alongside me once again is Steve Sinkovic. Steve, we've had a massive season so far across both categories of supercars here on SRWtv. Last week was an absolute scorcher, quite literally, for the Tuesday night Pro-Am and AMs. But tonight we come over to rainy, nice and cold, Silverstone to give us a complete kind of opposite end of the spectrum to what we had last time out at Sonoma.
Completely opposite. We're talking like 20 degrees compared to the 57 that we had at Sonoma. So it was a magic race actually to call, and loved every second of it. And tonight we're at sunny, 20 degrees, 70 degrees humidity, overcast, 8-kilometre winds.
It's not sunny. If you can read there, it says overcast. If rain
I was being ironic.
if rain was here for the supercars, it'd be raining on track right now. I can almost guarantee you.
Well, you know what? I can see our resident commentator, Mr. JP, sitting in the chat room. How about, JP, jump into the broadcast booth for a second and give us your perspective as a POM of what Silverstone represents to all of the UK, and a bit of your experience with it, mate. So come in to the broadcast room, mate, and have a bit of a chin wag with us. It could be good to get a perspective of someone that lives across a ditch. It's not really a ditch, really. Ditch is New Zealand, but
like
across the other side of the world.
Talk about the gap, it's quite significant. But I mean, Silverstone offers its own amount of challenges. I mean, I was a little bit vocal that I feel like we should have gone to the historic circuit compared to the regular Grand Prix circuit, but I still think the Grand Prix circuit has its own values and its own challenges at hand compared to the historic circuit. Last time we were here, I do believe, was for the IMSA series last season, and the time before that was for F3s. Whether the GR86s went here or not, I'm not 100% sure, to be honest with you.
It's been a while. We haven't had the V8s here, I'd suggest, for about easily 12 to 18 months, I reckon. It's been a long while. It's a track that everyone does a lot of, and we've done it, like you said, in other cars. So we try not to repeat stuff too often with the vast selection that iRacing gives us. And look who we got here, Mr. JP himself. How are you, buddy?
I'm all right, mate. Not bad at all. I heard your request on YouTube there, so popping in, talking about the world of motorsport at Silverstone, the classic, iconic circuit that lives in the UK, I believe.
I love the passion in your voice when you speak the word Silverstone, mate. So have you been down to the track? What's your experience of this track?
Okay, so I've been up to Silverstone. I've walked Silverstone. It's very long, dude. It doesn't look that long on the racing, like on the sim, but when you're walking it's a long old track, and it's very interesting to be there in person. I think when you're watching racing at home and you're looking at Silverstone, you're seeing all angles and you're sitting back thinking, oh, well, that's going on there. But you don't see that at the racetrack. You know, it's kind of like they go meow, and then you win.
Yeah. Very similar to when we go to Melbourne GP. You love it because you're there because of the atmosphere, but realistically, you're going to get a better view in front of the TV.
Yeah, that's the thing, I think. Most people think, oh, I want to go to the F1 Grand Prix and all that. And you're like, yeah, that's great. Go and pay £1,000 for the tickets for the weekend. It's absolutely amazing. But then once they've gone, nyong, 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 and that's it. You're like, well, that's nice. So, yeah, but it's iconic, isn't it? It's just Silverstone in general. The national layouts are amazing. You know, I've been up there watching Radicals race around on the national layouts, and that is just incredible and crazy. Facilities are second to none, you know, and I think it's just one of them circuits that is just iconic. Is the racing always good, depending on what the series is? Meh. It may be, it might not be. But at the end of the day, I think overall, dude, it's just a great British circuit, isn't it? It's well renowned, it's well known. It's on an airstrip. Both airstrip parts are still there as well. If you get an aerial view of Silverstone on Google, you can see the cross of where the landing runways were.
Yeah,
so
the horizontal. Yeah. Well, it's a great bit of kit. It's a track that I love racing on. I'm not sure if your experience racing on it's like. I was hoping you had a real experience on there, but seeing that you've had seen the radicals out there, that would have been quite epic as well. A lot of fun. Those radicals, we actually raced them here on the same circuit as well.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, mate, when I said that I was a commentator when I did go on it, because I went up there for a media day with one of the drivers from a Brit car team. When I said I was a commentator, they unfortunately wouldn't let me in the car. But you do need specific licenses as well. You know, if you rock up and try and do like a track day almost, you're not going to be able to get there at certain points because obviously the events. But to take part, you have to go through various license tests and complete a certain amount of race miles before you can get a license to race there. So it's not like a track day that you can get in a Ferrari and you get about 3 laps or whatever and it costs you a fortune. To actually race at Silverstone, you do actually need a license to be able to, a minimum racing license to be able to race there.
Ah, that's good. It keeps the riffraff off, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's why I'm not allowed on there, mate.
Well, thank you very much, JP, for your insight. It's been a pleasure. Quali has started with 2 minutes in, and the cars are looking spectacular on track as they are. Everyone, you can look forward to hear JP's dulcet tones tomorrow night for the...
Tomorrow night, Steve, Thursday night for 8.6s.
Oh, today's Tuesday. Yeah. Sorry, Thursday night for the Motorsport Australia Shannon's 89... GR86 National.
Mate, I thought it was early morning for me. I'm sure it's not early morning for you.
JP, it's been a long day, mate. I've driven over 300 kilometres today.
I don't know what that is in miles, mate. But gentlemen, it looks nice to be a good one.
That by 1.6. Or divide it by 1.6.
I'll have a look. But I'll keep watching on YouTube, guys. You have a good one, and I will catch up with you tomorrow, Thursday.
Thursday night. See, I got you as well. Take care, brother.
Yeah, take care, man. Bye.
So those of you out there watching us on YouTube, that was the dulcet tones of JP, who works with us on Monday nights and Thursday nights with the Formula Vs and the Shannon's GR86s. So log on, check it out, and watch the carnage and fun that comes out tomorrow, Thursday night. Jeez, I keep thinking tonight's Wednesday for some reason.
You're absolutely all over the place right now, Steve.
Yeah.
Is now a bad time for me to say I'm actually more of a Brands Hatch fan over Silverstone, personally?
I love Brands Hatch. See,
it's so good.
You know what? I love the UK tracks full stop. I love Brands Hatch. I love Alton Park. I love Snetterton. I love them all, mate. I reckon they're sensational. They've just got such a great variety of corners and, undulations and everything. There's something in each one of them. They're sensational.
Well, you will love the fact then that iRacing are actually scanning 2 new British tracks coming to iRacing very, very soon. They'll be scanning those in the future. So more tracks coming our way out of the UK to give us even more possibilities for UK racing. If we ever wanted to run a UK series, like if we ever got to the point of running geographical F4s or something like that, the UK would be one of the things, UK F4s or something like that. I don't know, but it's really going to open up doors for more opportunities to race in that space. And it's going to mean that there's going to be more tracks if they ever decide to do, as I mentioned, a geographical location series on iRacing that's strictly just UK tracks, which would be good to see. Burridge P1 at the moment after setting their first laps here in qualifying, 202.784. His teammate Kennedy in P2 at the moment with a 202.9, and then their teammate Darren Crosby as well, P3, 202.971. So M1 Racing lining up 1, 2, 3 at this stage. Big talking point here coming into round number 4, Steve, is the changes for certain drivers in their classes. One of the ones we are focusing on right now. We heavily kind of discussed it. It was kind of a foregone conclusion. Daniel Clutterbuck has now been promoted up to the Prime class, so He will get an updated window banner for next time out. Sean Smith as well was actually updated before Sunday because he wanted to race on Sunday, so he's actually now up into the Pro-Am class. And Michael Quatch as well is also into the Pro-Ams too. And there was one more. I'm going to have to check the list though because I actually didn't have to change them. Being Jamie Davis has also been regraded to a Pro-Am as well.
Yeah. Look, it's good to see. It's the boys obviously have the pace, so it's good to see them in their category, and they, it's not going to make their lives any more difficult than they are because they're racing the same people on track as they always are. Let me know, viewers, if you're still happy with our timing tower and if all the times are legible and easy enough to read, because we're still adjusting all that sort of stuff as we speak and getting things just a little bit tweaked as we go. But I'm hoping you're enjoying the show. Like, subscribe, and tick the notification bell as well, please, so we can keep growing our channel and keep making sure that we can bring you something special every week.
Well, it also means that you'll also be notified anytime we go racing over across the 6 nights a week that we do go racing. So just in case you do forget, get that YouTube notification every single night, 7:45, 7:50 p.m.-ish, depends on when we're able to actually go live, but it is always around 7:45, 10 to 8 that we normally go live, so you will get notified when it is going to happen. Just to catch up on a couple of the chats as well, Laura Anderson saying happy birthday to Jamie Davis. Happy birthday, Jamie Davis, from both myself and Steve. Harry Dodds saying keen as for this track on Sunday. Silverstone is one of his best. Well, hopefully he can perform better than he did at Le Mans, which was also one of his favourite tracks on Friday night. Gerard Sanfuentes saying all the best to Cowie, Troy and Dan. Mitchy Noble in the chat saying good luck SRW team. Car 10 has unfortunately had their whole PC shut off, so Mitch Noble unable to race.
Mitch.
And then
Bad luck, mate. It's one of those things.
It is.
I missed last night out as well because of computer problems too, so it sucks.
What do you mean?
Sucks to have computer problems.
That was not computer problems, Steve. That was the fact that you signed up through Steam.
Clerical errors and good old-fashioned Steam, which was doing my head in, but we'll go back to that another time to discuss. But that was
Davis nearly getting absolutely collected by Kennedy. That could be called into race control for not holding brakes.
Well, he's off the track, so...
Yeah, but he was rolling back. So because he was rolling back in the way of Kennedy, Kennedy actually had to avoid him as he was rolling back. So depending if Kennedy calls that one in or not, I'm not sure. Laura Anderson also giving her good luck wishes.
I'm going to call this one out. Jamie Davis, reach out to me after the show or during the day tomorrow, because I think you need an SRW livery, mate. I'm kind of over watching you drive the white car. And I think the SRW livery would look smashing for a Pro-Am driver out there.
I reckon Jamie should contact me because I think a Simrig's Infinity Motorsport livery would look even better on that car every Tuesday and Sunday night.
Did anyone hear some rubbish that he was just talking about?
Laura Anderson also wishing
anyway, listen,
good
let's
luck
get to the
her.
times out there. We've got some killer times coming up. What do we got? A 2:02 from Chris Burridge. The M1 boys are stepping out already with a 2:02.9, 2:02.97 from Crosby. You can see those boys all practice together. Troy Dooley in 4th, Jackson Pringle in 5th, Billy Mole in 6th with a 2.037. All the boys are sitting really close as usual. There's one of Hamish's favourites, Mr. Rick Vigar, sitting in 7th with a 2:03.742. Followed by Michael Quash, Scotty Weston, and rounding out the top 10 is Mr. Andrew Cowan with a 2:03. Where is he? 2:03.976. So last lap was his fastest.
I saw Cowie actually struggling in practice a little bit. In practice, trying to set some times. Seeing as the fact I've been trying to fucking call out. Oh, sorry.
Keep going.
Sorry. Seeing that I've been trying to call out these last two chats just for like a couple of minutes. Laura Anderson giving a big shout out to her hubby Brad Anderson, Jamie Davis and Josh King, and then also Greg Barber in the chat as well. It's great to have you here, Barbs.
Hurrah, Barbs, hurrah.
Yeah, hurrah.
Well, no one's getting down to the 2:01s, mate. Practice Peter Vanderkran did a 2:01.7. The closest we've got so far is a 2:02.7, so we're a second off the pace.
Yeah, I mean, what's the track temp at the moment?
Oh, I think it's early days. Everyone's getting their banker in now.
Yeah. The problem is, and you know, JP spoke about this, how long of a track it is. when you said it's longer than you think, I thought, no, when I've done laps around here, it feels like it. Like, because of where the two ends of the track are, right, where the two start lines are, it feels like two tracks in one. Remembering, this track is 5.8 Ks long, so it's actually not too far off the length of Bathurst.
5.8 Ks.
So, like, you know, they're not going to get that many times in for a 15-minute session, especially if this is a sprint round. Now, let me just double-check what kind of round we have actually got tonight. It is a normal round, so drivers will actually at least have an opportunity to finish their lap after the 15 minutes is up. So as long as they actually start the lap before the 15-minute counter ticks over, they will have the opportunity to finish that lap. So, you don't really get as many opportunities around here to really set these lap times. Again, it's all about trying to stay clean and just trying to set as many laps as you possibly can, because that is what is actually going to help you. Dooley, though, he did have some pace in practice, and he's matching it right now. That's Burridge up in P1.
Yeah, he's up there in second place right now, doing really well. So those of you who are older than me, and Hamish said 5.8 kilometres, that's actually 3.6 miles, just for JP's sake. Is it divided by? No, it's times 1.6, isn't it?
No. Because a
there's
mile is
1.6 kilometres.
1.6 Ks.
1.6 kilometres per mile.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, so Troy Dooley, he could be a little bit of a dark horse here tonight, Steve.
Well,
he's got the pace about him.
Burridge is doing well. But Dooley has split the M1 guys, which is good. Pringle is been going really well. Actually, I've been watching him from just quietly on the outside edge, and the guy's got some good pace, some really good pace.
So a couple of comments as well. JP saying it has 10 layouts that are currently used. It's absolutely wild. You don't think it has that many layouts, but it does. I mean, the only layout that they don't use anymore is the historic, where they cut out the line that goes underneath. It's here. Instead of turning right, you kind of just go straight ahead and then underneath the bridge and up around towards, I think it's Cox Corner, or Brooklands. I can't remember exactly. Barb's was saying, go show how fast Bathurst is. Always thought this track was quick. I think the reason that Bathurst is actually so quick is the straights and the fact that you can actually get a longer run down the straights. I mean, and they carry so much speed across the top, even though it's a longer track and it's longer than this, but you can actually carry more speed around the whole circuit, where this circuit has a lot more slower corners and kind of, it's, I don't know, like, even this little section here, it's a lot slower all around this track than what it is at Bathurst, sort of thing. So it's quite interesting to make those little comparisons between them.
The key factor that you're missing there, mate, is that the Aussies are driving at Bathurst and they're just faster. Simple as that.
Yeah, I mean, Barb's even saying do a similar lap time and this place is shorter. I mean, exactly. Ray Douglas saying, g'day, Steve-O and co. Looking forward to a great call tonight. Pity Jace got put into pros this year because he loved the Pro-Am series. It is what it is. Well, I mean, at least he gets to race out on a Sunday night and have a good old crack at that, although we haven't seen him in there just yet.
Jace, which Jace is he talking about?
Jason Douglas.
Oh, Douglas, yeah, that was inevitable. The kid's getting faster and faster, and he's it's good to see him improving all the time. Well, we've got 2.5 minutes, no less. What do we got? A minute to go. So anyone that's on a hot lap right now, like, Mitch Neville's got himself in there, so he might be able to set himself a time. Well done, lad.
Where is he on
yeah, so
just crossed the line, so this will be a fly.
There he is. He just needs to set a banker, and look at that beautiful livery with the Warren Brown logo smashed across the side of it, and then Grim Industries on the bonnet with the Shannons on the front bumpers. What a piece of kit that is.
Steve, even though this is an SRW series, it's not a place to promote the SRW team. Like, come on. We can't always show out. We can't always. We have to be unbiased here sometimes. Come on.
I can't just do nothing but that, mate. You know what? It's great to see the boys out there. The cars are looking spectacular. Actually, who's that behind Mitch Noble just there? That's
Jeremy
that
Bush.
Locked-on car?
Yeah, it's Jeremy Bush.
Oh, looking good. It's back to the traditional type layout. Rather than the Pooh Brown that they've got at the moment. Oh, he's giving it a bit of a swing around that corner.
Brown because, well, I call Jeremy's races in vets, and he's always had this livery for like the past 3 seasons. Oh,
in the 86s, they've got Pooh Brown colours now.
Ah, okay.
They're copying the car they're using for the event that's coming up for the charity run. Oh, people, we have qualifying finishing now. Those that are on their run will have their final chance to complete their lap and hopefully get a good time on the board. So, Mitch, focus and don't overdrive it.
So Burridge, who's led this session since his first flying lap, I believe won't be able to finish his lap because I don't think he actually crossed the line before the 15-minute cutoff. Jamie Davis, he's coming up through. I think he's in the same boat. So I think unless someone in the back, you know, further down the order is actually going to be able to set a time, we might not be able to see one here from anyone to really challenge for P1. Interestingly enough, Peter Vanderkraan was actually not able to set a lap time in qualifying. Neither was Burgess. Bush has also failed to do so, as well as Peter Morris. So whether I don't think Vanderkraan's actually even been out on track, so he hasn't actually been out there. So he might even miss this race if he's not careful enough, or maybe he's decided to start from the back of the field. I'm not too sure, but as we have Clutterbuck come on through to go around.
Or double greens for Dennis Walden.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where he's, whether that lap will count or not.
Mr. Darren.
Flag dropping. Schultz's lap is done. Taylor's lap is done. Healy's lap is done. Vigor is on two greens for the back sector.
He's pulled it up. So that was
the
end of his
lap.
So
here we go. Vigor's still on the pedal.
He is. He's coming around the final corner. I do believe
Or as
corner. It was.
Nice. He's got himself up to 7th.
He hasn't
Jamie
beaten his
Davis.
time, but he's not been beaten out by anyone either. So that should be the end of qualifying. I would say Brad Anderson will be the last driver to finish their lap here as he crosses the line. I don't think he's gone any better. No, he hasn't. So Clutterbuck, he's not setting a time either. And Mole, I don't think is in the hot seat to really set anything spectacular at this stage. And he's not really close enough to really even get this lap done. So not too much time left, but we are past the cutoff now. So it's going to be interesting to see how this is going to play out. Burridge provisional P1, although I'd say I don't think anyone's really going to be able to beat that time. No one's realistically gotten closer than 1/10 of a second. Dooley P2, Davis P3, Crosby, Kennedy make up the top 5. Pringle P1 for the pro-ams, for the amateurs, sorry. That it's Viger, Daly, Mole, and Cow, and that's the top 10 at this stage. But Mole is not bettering his sectors, so this time I don't think we'll actually be able to be a benefit to him, as he has been cut off. So that will bring an end to our qualifying session. We will get ready to go racing.
Laura saying Jamie Davis was devastated that he wasn't racing today, but finds out Saturday night that he was racing. He thought his birthdays had come early. JP Douglas had a rough one in the V's on Monday. Did recover in race 2, but race 1 was rough for him. Yeah, look, it was rough for me. I didn't even get on track for 1, 2, or 3. Oh, it's only 1 and 2 on Monday night, but yeah, tough. Sucks. All right, mate. We're ready for an epic battle. This is going to be absolutely killer. First corner.
It's going to be one to keep an eye on. But our starting grid for tonight's race, Chris Burridge will start at a P1 for M1 Racing. Then it'll be Troy Dooley out of P2 for Performance Sim Racing. Then it is a Jamie Davis into P3 with Darren Crosby out of P4 here tonight. Stephen Kennedy will start at a P5 ahead of current P1 for the amateurs in this qualifying, P6 overall, Jackson Pringle. Rick Viger then in P7 next to Travis Daly out of P8. He'll start just ahead of Billy Mole at a P9 with Andrew Cowan making up the top 10. Michael Quash will then start at a P11. The newly promoted Pro-Am done a pretty good job there. Scotty Weston then into P12. Adam Simpson will start at a P13 ahead of P2 in the AMs, P14 overall, Daniel Schultz. He'll start just ahead of Daniel Clutterbuck out of P15 here tonight. It'll then be Stephen Martin out of P16 ahead of Sean Vandermeulen out of P17, with Brett Taylor starting in alongside for Valve Esports in P18. Blake Fitzpatrick will then start at a P19 with Craig Healy making up the top 20. We've then got Sean Smith at a P21 ahead of Mitchie Noble in P22. Darren Walden will start at a P23 ahead of David Leslie out of P24 here tonight. We then go down to P25 to Josh King ahead of Shane Newens in P26. Brad Anderson, Miles Burgess, then Peter Vanderkraan and Jeremy Bush, as well as Peter Morris further down the grid. Tyson McAvoy, Jamie Budd, our race controllers here tonight. Big thank you goes out to them, as always, Steve. They are take time out to help control these larrikins on track and keep them in check.
Have a look at this grid and how long it is. It's going around the corner. You got to love it. This is going to be, that's where usually I am, right down the very, very back around the corner, so I don't even see the lights go ding, ding, ding. I just move because everyone else is moving. But this is going to be epic, guys. Absolutely epic. Cars are looking fantastic. Drivers are all primed. And the lights are going to go off any second.
Well, we've had some good comments in there. JP saying it's going to be epic, so he's flying the flag at the moment for the UK and for Silverstone. Should be on for a great race. Jace Douglas into the chat, giving the support for Cowie. We're waiting for Mr. Davis to get on track. Peter Vanderkran's also not out on the grid either, so he could actually miss this race entirely if he doesn't get out there before the timer counts down, unless he is starting from the lane.
Davis is there.
So we got Davis. All we wait for now is Peter Vanderkran. Whether he's going to be racing or not, that will be determined. We wait for the lights to come up and we rate to go racing here tonight in our one and only.
33 cars out on track, people.
Oh, it's absolutely epic, isn't it, mate, to have that many cars out there.
On a Tuesday night, what else would you want to be doing than racing the V8 Supercars at Silverstone?
Roy Clark in the chat, I hate the last minute Larry. Of course, Roy loves to come into me chats, give me a little bit of a chirp, which is all in good fun, of course. Good to see me out there. But the lights are about to go up. We're ready to go racing at Silverstone here tonight. 1 hour of action for the Supercars around Britain's most favourite circuit. They come off the line nice and tidy. Little bit of a wheel spin there from Daly in the background. He'll start to drop spots. Burridge, though, leads them into turn one. Dooley's had a great start, but Davis, he wanted it up the outside. Not quite close enough this time. By Daly has been spun round in the background there in the MSR car.
He's all the way back. Keep it going. There's a few boys coming in too wide across that apex, and they're making it safe. It looks like a bit of a spin around there. It looks like Mitch was involved.
Fitzpatrick was involved. There's another car being
misjudged his efforts.
So
well, we'll catch up with that a little bit later. But at the moment, we've got the M1 boys tearing away with Troy Dooley, dropping all the way. No, Troy's still there. It was Travis Daly that dropped down.
Yeah, the one. Ironically, the one you actually got confused with during the Pro-Am. I've done it again. I'm so sorry. The Pro-Am broadcast yesterday between Dooley and Daly. Need to get that out of my mouth.
Steve Kennedy's having to sniff across the inside, then trying to get in under Jake Pringle. I think he has managed it. He's leading out, but he's got a hot chaser on his tail there by Rick Vigor. Is that a new? No, who's in front of Rick Vigor there in the pink?
So that is Jackson Pringle. That's Jackson Pringle ahead of him. So obviously, we're used to seeing. I know. I'm sorry, JP. I'm sorry. I'll wash my mouth out with soap after the broadcast. So I mean, we're used to seeing. Oh, Viger's gone round in the background out the back of Maggots and Beckett's, and there's been a collection with Simpson as well. Simpson didn't hold the brakes, but good to have the wherewithal there just to take the car off the track. Burridge still leads the way. I would not be surprised if we're going to see safety car action here incredibly in short succession.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I think one of those cars just actually towed a bit quickly. Davis is getting a bit of a sniff there from Troy at the back of him, making sure he's staying true and hunting him down, which gives good old Chris Barrage to get away a little bit. He's finally made some gap there of 1.17, so he's slowly getting away, but the M1 boys are hunting them down all the way through.
I just realised as well we were actually able to have a lot more cars on the timing tower tonight, so all 31 cars out on track are able to be involved. Vanderkran is out on track, so he did actually make the start. He must have started from the lane because he is still going now at this point.
Ooh. Was that a re-entry or was just...
I think that was Vandermeulen coming out of the pits. And that was Vandermeulen coming out of the pits, so...
Is he starting to lap down or something?
So Vanderkran started out of the lane. Vandermeulen is on the lead lap. I think he's actually just been in because he maybe got caught up with some damage on the first lap shenanigans that happened. We will get some replays happening for everybody in just a moment.
If you can get the speed limiter on, I'd love to see what the boys are doing pace-wise on this track, because I think it's a fast layout, especially as it comes up to the S's later on, the Maggots and Beckett's.
first one with Travis Daly up through turn 1. Oh,
Looks
there's
like
just
the fishy closed the
overlap.
door a little bit there, and then that's put Daly down. There was like 3 wides. Like, where do you go? Where do you do? All right, it's a broad track, it's a wide track, but see what, on those apexes, it narrows down real quick. And then it looks like Mitch had a bit of a tap there. And someone else has got a bit of extra love as well.
So Newlands gave a bit of a bump there to Leslie on the entry into the corner, and then Leslie's almost tried to give him a little bit of a receipt, and it's kind of not worked out well for him. That's also caught up Peter Morris in the back of that one as well. Michael Quash has had an off-track. How's this off-track happen for him? Is he just running a bit wide? Oh, this is him trying to avoid Rick Viger. And Adam Simpson. Oh, that was off the back of that.
Oh, it's a bit of a... Who's that on the grass taking advantage of the incident? Got a great jump right across from Clutterbuck. He took about 4 places in one go then.
Not 100% sure on that one, but...
Schultz is in the pits. So he's
alive.
Looking at repairing damage from what I can tell. Roy Clark, Rick got his tackle out and caught a fish.
You gotta love good old Crash Clark chirping up in the comments. It's absolutely phenomenal to have it on here.
But it looks like Burridge is really steady now. He's just making his way around this track and focusing on what's ahead of him instead of what's behind him. But Davis is slowly on the hunt. There was over 1 second before. Now he's got it down just on 1 second gap at this we speak. And behind him is Troy Dooley, 2 seconds behind that. So that's what you're seeing there is 1 second seems like a lifetime out there, but it's not a lot. All it takes is one of these front 2 cars to make a mistake, and they'll drop 15, 20 places easily.
Also, Vandermeulen has been back into the lane. So not quite sure the thought process behind that, although it looks like he's actually driven through the lane, so possibly a penalty of some sort. I'm not 100% sure on that. Peter Morris had a slight little off track. He's come straight back on, so I'd say he's just run it wide slightly and brought it back onto the tarmac, of course. But Burridge to Davis to Dooley to Crosby to Kennedy. That's the 5. Then we get to P1 in the amateurs. P6 at the moment, Jackson Pringle, and then it's Cowan, Mole, West and Burgess. That's the rest of the 10. Smith, Quash, Clutterbuck, Taylor and Noble. That's the 15. So for a man whose PC turned off randomly at the start of qualifying, Mr. Noble's done well here to get up 4 spots within his class, up 7 overall positions so far. So he's done well to avoid the incidents.
Look at that. Someone's had a sniff on the inside of there, but thought better of it. Look, Mitch is a good driver. He just needs to tame the beast inside him sometimes. He just puts his nose in a little bit extra aggression where he doesn't need to. Have a look at this on the inside turn. They've gone too wide. He's pushed him wide, but he's still going. That's Pringle and Cowan.
It's
not.
That's Martin and Noble. Martin and Healy. Martin went for it at the inside into the entry into the second or into the last sort of section. Healy then had the inside line in the final corner, but Martin just had the better drive. And now it's a bit of a pelican sandwich here for the GMK Logistics entry of Healy. Fitzpatrick wants to move as well. Walden's in the background of this, so a couple of birds attacking a logistics truck is quite interesting to see happen.
Well, Mitch Noble's race is just going to go down the gurgler. Dan Schultz was going through the pits for a black flag, and Mitch Noble is going to go through for a black flag as well. I think that was him that hit the back of the fishing car that spun it round and caused a little bit of extra damage, which is unfortunate because he's got himself into a good position. But look, it is what it is. He's still learning how to drive V8. He's still learning how to race in iRacing as well. So it's good to see.
So Burridge still leads proceedings at this point in time. Last lap by Steve, he set the fastest lap of the race, 2:03.69. Only driver to get into the 3 so far in this race. The time should start to come down. We've got low temps for this one, so we don't have to worry about an ice rink happening out there here for Silverstone. But, well, we've at least got an opportunity here for some nice, fast, hard racing because the cooler temperatures bring out the best in the supercar when it comes to its handling model.
There was a spin that was involving car 65 in the first part of the race. That's been deemed net code. And with these guys going too wide again. Is that Dooley on the inside?
That's Dooley getting passed here by Pringle and by Kennedy up into the final section. Cowie wants to sniff on his teammate, but I doubt he's going to force the issue unless Troy lets him go. Massive pressure in behind, though, from Mole.
Yeah, Billy Mole, look at that. 4 of these cars sitting in within 0.3, 0.12, 0.21, following each other like hotcakes. You can't even squeeze any jam between them, how close they are. They're unbelievably close. They just got to watch this this bit here is a tough braking point. Make sure they don't miss their marker and get the car rotated left for the long sprint down this section of the track.
We've had a couple of comments regarding Cowie. JP, all caps, come on Cowie, all the gear you have, you should be in P1. And then Roy's saying Cowie's just your average sim racer, stop putting pressure on him. I mean, he's doing well though. He got onto the podium on Sunday night for the Pro-Am. So
yes, he's been doing well.
We know he's got some consistency about him, and we know that he can do well when he turns it on. So it's just a matter of, you know, if this track is suiting him and if, you know, things can go his way. But he's done well so far. He's up 3 spots in this race, so well into the top 10. Most positions gained so far, it goes to Miles Burgess, and it's kind of becoming a recurring moment in races of Miles just making up spots. Up 19 spots into the top 10 already. So Miles is on an absolute flyer.
Yeah, look at the cars dance over those curbs as they come through and handle it beautifully. Cowan's got pressure like crazy behind him, mate. This is going nuts. These boys are putting on a great show, and there's a lovely piece of kit just in my eyes there. Bit of suspension.
I wanted to see what it looked like through Maggots and Beckett's, but it didn't really give us much movement, so I'll have to wait and see at another part of the circuit where that could actually look better. Of course, that's brought to us by the left rear suspension unit of the Mustangs, of course, so we can actually check out how the suspension moves on those Mustangs. And to make up for it on the Commodore, we have a camera pointing right at the back window, so we can see if we ever get a ZB crewman.
All 3 of them having a look there. They were taking turns at having a look there, and they've managed to. Oh, he's managed to muscle his way through there. That was more panel than normally we would see. That was, who was that? Burgess coming through over Billy Mole.
Vandermeulen's had an incident here. Let's quickly check it out. So he's already struggling out the back course. This guy is a bit fresh to the supercar. He is going to be a fresh V8 Veterans entry next season, so he'll be getting thrown in at the deep end. Oh, and he just pulled up just to let people pass. I thought it might have been a little bit more spectacular than that, but
no. Has he got damage, or is he just worried about being in the way?
I think he's worried about being in the way, which again, it comes with time and learning. And I've spoken about this before. That it comes with time and learning that you're better off just racing at your own pace. And when the guys actually come up on the back of you, don't worry about how frustrated they might get behind you. Do not go out of your way to let them pass in a difficult spot, because it can actually lead to a lot more carnage happening than if you actually just let them come past naturally. So it's it's one of those things that he'll learn over time, but could be one that we need to really keep an eye on and make sure he actually does tweak in the future. Reese Degoe is in the chat. I am here now. Roy Clark, of course, asked him if he has a late note. Reese, if you don't have a late note, I'm going to have to get John Venery to dock your points from Split 3 on Vets, just to make your life a little bit harder to come up into Split 2 next season. So, but yeah, good to see you here, mate. Supporting the PSR boys, of course. Had a fantastic season so far, Steve, in Split 3. He's absolutely smashing, and I cannot wait, because it's more than likely he's going to join me in Split 2 next season. I cannot wait to call his action next season, of course. But
well, while we're calling all this other action, Jamie Davis has caught up to Chris Barrage. He's 0.25 on the back of him now, so he's putting a lot of pressure. He's slowly made it up, but then he's got his rear guard, Chris Barrage's rear guard of Crosby and Kennedy are following up very, very closely. Either he's trying to back him up into Crosby and Stevens to let them catch up, or he's going out there on his own merits.
I would say, Steve, the earlier option is the one that I reckon he's playing at the moment. Because why wouldn't you? Both your teammates are up there with you. Get a bit of a 3-on-1 situation. Make Davis's life that little bit harder, just to make you as the leader's life a little bit easier. So
3-on-1, making someone's life harder. We're talking about racing here, mate.
Yeah, we are, mate. Don't you worry about that one. Don't you worry about that.
Have a look at this. Oh, he's having a bit of a crack there. Davis has just put the nose in, letting him know he's there. Great bit of driving. Is he going to be able to take it out and put pressure as he comes to the next corner? He's finally got some pace on him. This is what we're seeing right now is 0.13 of a second. He's gone the inside again. Burridge is not giving him anything at all. He's making sure he's closing as many lines as he can. Oh, that little attempt there has put Crosby right on the back of him, and Crosby is not someone you would want to lose a bit of traction or momentum around, because you'll pick that up very quickly and put it up against you.
Maybe the M1 boys are just trying to give Jamie a nice birthday present here. You know, just one that they've all brought him, and it's just a 3-on-1 assault around Silverstone. Like, make his life a little bit harder.
You need to stop.
No, well, Laura Anderson said, now, lads, it's his birthday, so... No, but honestly, like, maybe they just want to try and make this race as difficult as possible for him, so he has to earn the win against the M1 boys, because they're kind of the class of the field here tonight, and of weeks past as well. We won't talk about motorsport, but they came together. But, yeah, the past couple of weeks, they've been, you know, cut above the rest pretty much. I mean...
But take your mind back to round 1, I think it was, and what was Kennedy doing in 4th place in round 1?
Fuel
saving. Have a look where Kennedy is now.
Yeah, P4. Fuel saving.
Kennedy
off the
has
back.
got himself a nice little buffer. He's 2 seconds off his teammates in front of him, but he's got Jackson Pringle 1.3, 1.6 behind him. So he's gapping that at the moment and saving fuel.
JP, I doubt Cowie's going to send it because that's his teammate in front of him. So I doubt we're going to see a lick the stamp situation here from Cowie on Dooley ahead.
Yeah.
But maybe if Dooley sends him on Pringle.
That was last season.
Yeah.
That was last season, Cowie. This season, Cowie's back to his season 3, where he was a little bit more conservative and he was looking at the bigger picture. His aggression levels have dropped for this season. He's playing the smart game. Oh, even though he had to go a little bit wide there to miss the tail end of his teammate, that could have gone very upsetting for the team owner, Mr. Tyson McAvoy.
Of course, he is in race control. I'm sure if they actually had it coming together, he would probably book them the hardest if they have a crash together, because he'd be like, you can't crash, you know, into each other, boys. Like, come on. You now have to pay the price for that one.
He's harder on his own teammates, that's
for sure. So, I mean, JB's saying first rule of racing is beat your teammate, and then Roy's saying, or take him out. Roy's he's lucky he doesn't race his own teammates, because he'd be taking him out week in and week out, I'm sure. He has already gotten the moniker of Crash Clark, so I'd hate to think what it'd be like against his own teammates. But Davis putting all sorts of pressure now on the back of Burridge. He is not sweating at all or feeling the pressure.
He's doing a great drive, mate. An absolute pearl of a drive. To be in this situation with M1 in front of you and behind you. So he's, at the moment, looks like he's just focusing on what's in front of him. He's not, judging by the way he turned that in, that's his natural line. He wasn't really thinking about what Crosby was doing behind him until he put the foot down then and lost the rear end a little bit. Then he was like, holy shit, Crosby's behind me. But he's doing well to keep up with Burridge. And hopefully, it'd be nice to see him make a move and get past and see how it goes from there.
Well, I don't know if he's going to be able to find a lane so easily. He may just need to, you know, blow the birthday candles out, have a birthday wish, and just send it up the inside somewhere possibly.
Well, he's got to be careful because Crosby's that close behind him. If he tries to take him on the inside or outside and Crosby tucks in behind his own teammate, he's going to be blocked and left out, just like when you're racing in pushies and that stuff sort of thing. You've got to keep that lane open. If Crosby blocks him in, he's out and about in wilderness and he's going to lose his spot real quick.
Right,
he's got a real strange... I don't know if his rear end's as settled as the M1 is, because you see him coming through those S's just then. He seems to take it like his car's a little bit pointier and his rear end is a little bit on the looser side. Watch him when he comes through the S's next.
JP also calling you out apparently for having a potty mouth. I don't know about me. I feel like, shit is more acceptable than what I said earlier. But Davis up the inside. That's a great move. He sent it there. We were waiting for it, Steve, and he licked the stamp, put it up the inside there. Managed to get it done, but now he's going to have two of those M1 cars trying to just berate him and keep that pressure on him now. We'll have to see how well this pressure gauge holds out for Mr. Jamie Davis. But this could be a real, coming of I'm trying to think of what the right word is.
Coming of age?
Yeah, not really coming of age, but like kind of coming.
This could
of
be his moment
consistency.
that puts him, that lifts his
Exactly,
confidence,
yeah.
and takes it to the next level. 100%. It's a shame that livery hasn't got SRW written on it at the moment, which my aim is to have before the week's out. And he's doing well. He's slowly pulling away. It's not a dramatic difference in speed between the boys, but he's just got to be a bit smart there and just take smooth actions. Just be as smooth as possible where you can, and pick your centre lines. Don't give them options to tuck their nose in.
He's doing well.
Again, we're sitting for an hour, mate. So what is the fuel strategy going to be around here? Because that seems to be a key factor in all the races in the V8 Supercars that we've had this season so far. And we've seen a great impact on who finishes where. Now, you just saw that tails wiggle again. Maybe Burridge has gone out too quick, too hot, and his tyres are feeling the rear end a little bit now, because I'd give you a top tip. Within the next lap or two, Crosby's going to be in front of him.
I mean, it quite possibly could be. I larken back to Phillip Island. That was the last hour-long race that we had here in the Supercars. And if you recall, it was kind of a race that was either split into thirds for certain drivers, but they'd have to do a little splash at the end, or the one that was kind of split into, like, you kind of go about 20 minutes under a tank and then you can kind of do it in 2 stops. But it is full-on fuel saving towards the end. So it's going to be interesting to see how this does indeed play out. The moments that have happened in this race have kind of taken out, drivers that I would say they're probably actually going to do pretty well here tonight. We saw how well they did last time we were in 1 hour sessions, such as, Rick Weiger, possibly even a Peter Vanderkrant as well as the likes of like a Clutterbuck or something like that. They're a bit too far down the order to really have this play out for them now. I'd say this is probably, if we're thinking about Kennedy saving fuel, the current run that he's on, possibly even a Burgess, they could be the ones that could really just sneak up there in the end. But it's all, the answers are not going to come until we get to that pit stop period.
Travis Daly, Fitzpatrick, Craig Keeley and Jeremy Bush are all fighting with a couple of tenths between them all the way through. We've got Walden just had a little bit of a sneaky off track. These boys have just swapped a few places. Travis Daly's just passed Blake Fitzpatrick on the back end there.
So
someone has called in something, but I didn't hear what number it is, so I can't give you any more feedback on that. But there was an incident somewhere on the track that has been called in.
Well, Walden ran it wide. Is it maybe the rejoin?
No, it looks like his rejoin was okay.
Yeah.
All right, we'll find out in a minute once race control gets back to us.
Our answers will be given to us, of course, but Daly's leading this little battle pack now. Fitzpatrick, Healy and Bush. Martin a little bit further up the road. Taylor, though, he's even further up from them. You can see the gap off the back of the VMM Esports machine.
Well, I'll tell you what, Crosby is 0.2 on the back of Barrage at the moment, and looks like he's sniffing for a move on his own teammate.
Well,
look at this.
He needs
He's
to be careful
all over him.
Because I don't know if he wants to go for the complete collection of hitting his own teammate. He's already got Kennedy in that scrapbook. I don't think he wants Burridge in there too, because that might start to lead to some, maybe a little bit of dispute between them, we'll say.
Yeah.
Or despair, possibly, as well. But, I mean, these 3-on-1 boys, as I mentioned, they're kind of in the talk of the town here tonight. They've set the pace early. And, they're just trying to keep it up here with Davis now that he's passed them. Although, the gap is already out to 1.2 seconds. But I think these M1 boys are saving fuel like it's nobody else's business, because Davis is just trying to get that gap as far as he can.
Yeah, well, Kennedy's saving fuel like a madman out there. He's got himself a gap on Pringle of 3.78, and he's only a second behind these boys here too. So he's doing really well doing it there. The couple of other guys that are out there that are fighting like crazy is Pringles on back, Miles is on the back of Pringles with a 0.2. Then you've got Travis on Martin with a 0.2. Chris Healy is all over with a 0.03 on Jeremy Bush. That is going to be a pass any second. They are going flat stick out the back there. And just as I predicted it, Jeremy Bush has just passed him. Oh, he's gone across the outside. Is he going to hold it? He is going to hold it. Well done.
These guys have been chopping and changing positions over those last couple of corners. We kind of caught the back end of it there. Yeah. Craig Healy and Jeremy Bush, 2 Vets boys, and they're battling it out hard at the moment here on track. They've got former Vets boy and Peter Vanderkrant behind them, so it could be quite an interesting battle coming their way. Martin
amazing thing is we've got battles in this series always up front, down the back, in the middle. There's always battles going on. Everywhere you look, you can find something interesting going on.
It's good to see from the boys out there. Also, big news coming in from F3 land as well. Young karting prodigy. I want to get her name right. I think it's Ocean Colangelo has just signed up for the F3s as well. So she's a young youth karting prodigy. She's coming into the F3s, making her debut tomorrow night. So it'll be interesting to see how she goes. She's been put into the Pro-Am class as well. So if you want to see,
it's going to be good. More women the better. We want to see more ladies come out and join us. We've got now 4 females racing with us, which is spectacular.
And one of them is now a broadcaster too.
Yes, she is. She did an exceptional job on Friday night. I was very proud of her. And good to see that she enjoyed it. You can hear it in her voice that she was having fun. And I know she's got commitments this Friday, but we're going to lock her in for the rest of the season.
So it'll be good
Keep
to have,
you on your toes, Hamish.
Oh, I will. It will. Don't worry. And we will reach out. We'll try and give a similar opportunity to somebody else this coming Friday. So if you're a part of the league, I know Ryan Price was interested. We'll see if we can lock someone else in for this Friday. Give them the opportunity to see if they enjoy it. And if they enjoy it, Steve, well, there might be an opportunity for them elsewhere within the league 100%, to get into the booth.
We need a big family in the back here because we're on 6 nights a week, and we will grow that in the coming seasons as well. So we need to have backups in the broadcasting department, and we do, and it's everyone's enjoying it, which is the best thing about it. Has to be fun. That's how I can learn it. It has to be fun.
Like JP wants to come back to IMSA as well, so maybe we can run one time this week for Long Beach because it's probably going to be so carnage-filled. Maybe we can run with a triple commentary booth this Friday. We'll see if we can line it up, but we'll see what happens.
My question to JP is, how many coffees are you in, mate? I know you've just woken up. The man does not sleep, and he's got a coffee machine in his office. And he's probably sitting there tweaking away, doing some artwork or something for a broadcast, and sitting there sipping his coffee away and watching this race at the same time.
I'll tell you what, speaking of editing overlays for a broadcast, big shout out actually does go to JP. I've been, creating my own overlays for a little AI series that I'm going to be running in the future, and he gave me some support when I had some questions for him in terms of tinkering away, and he was able to help me out. So big appreciation there to JP. He's making 3 at the moment. He's on 3 coffees at this stage, and he's on accounts and graphics. So he's
he's making himself known there, and he's putting the pressure on like crazy on the back of his who is it?
Adversary and Jackson Pringle.
That's it. That livery keeps throwing me.
It's you know what though? I like it. Although I do think the blue needs a nice little black background because it is blending into that pink a little bit just based on how bright they are. But Cowie, he's made up a couple of spots here over the last couple laps. He wants another one.
This is a fast one. How wide? He's kept his momentum.
Burgess wants it as well.
He's done really well. Burgess is really sniffing in there. He's got to be careful. He doesn't tag someone there, Burgess.
He's ready to go camping because he's parked that car
too
like
wide
a
again,
tent
Cowie.
in the background. Great racing from these boys.
Have a look at these guys.
Unbelievable.
It just does not get any closer. Oh, look at Burgess. He's making an attempt on the outside of Cowie now. 3 wide into this corner. Who's going to chicken it out?
Let's go on board here with Dooley. I want to see. Oh, that's the wrong camera. That's better.
No,
we can see them all. And look at that. What a great view of this little
great
battle.
Everyone's staying safe. Everyone's giving. Oh, nearly ran out of room there, Burgess. But Pringle is going to tuck in.
Oh, there's contact with Burgess and Cowie.
No, he's good. He's good. He's good. It's only a little bit of love. They're still going. Pringle's still there. It's still anyone's corner. Oh, Pringle's getting shunted out there. He's getting a bit wide. He's brought it back on the bitumen.
So Burgess has managed to get past Cowie here. Maybe a little bit of controversy in it. But
no, that looked pretty clean. That was racing, rubbing, a little bit of rubbing. It wasn't anything dramatic, but that was some great racing. 5 cars that close to each other. I was almost dumbfounded how well they've done and how much respect was given during that racing. That was crazy stuff.
I would say if Cowie hasn't called it, then there might be a receipt coming miles away at some point. Just a little bit of a nudge off track possibly just to get a move done. But all's fair in love and war.
It was nothing that was. It was just
like
racing. That's just
or
racing,
like
mate.
that, but
yeah, that's just racing. Cowie's happy to take those knocks and take them on the chin, as long as there's no damage and he's still in the fight. They're all 5 of them are still in the fight, so they've done really, really well. let me have a look and cast my eyes against the rest of the field. The rest of the field has slowly settled down into their rhythm. We're at lap 14, 28 minutes into the hour-long race. So we're going to have to start seeing some pitting coming up shortly in the next 2 laps.
Yeah, I'd say we would. This looks like it's only going to be a one-stop.
Hang on, 093 has been told to readdress a position.
I think that's fair. I mean, he knocked Cowie off track and got the position. I think a redress is fair. It's not really penalising him. He just has to give up one spot. Then he gets to attack at him again. So we're getting to the halfway point of this race. You did ask me to bring up the dashboard to see how fast these guys were going around this track. We'll go on board with Jamie Davis here for this next lap. He's coming around to start one just up here. So we'll go on board with him and we'll see how fast he actually runs around this track and the kind of pace that he's actually getting out of this car as well. So we'll come up here, and the real telltale sign will be down the hangar straight, really. You know, that'll be when it actually happens. Burgess has actually come into the pit, so this could be a pit stop from him in the background, as well as Smith, Taylor, and Martin as well.
I'll just laugh at JP's like, if Cowie calls that in, he'll get a clip. He hasn't called it in, but the racing stewards have picked it up and deemed it enough of contact to readdress it. So it's what was this? Is Mitch Noble got another black flag, or is that from before? I think that's from before.
So we're still on board here with Davis. He's built up a little bit of a lead over Burridge in behind. 0.6 of a second now. Kennedy's still running good pace.
Really close to the fence there, and it's not an off track on the right-hander just then. This is a key part of this track, to be able to carry enough momentum to get the pedal down early to get the pace right through Maggots and Beckett's.
As he comes up through Maggots and Beckett's. Has been called the twiddly bits before by certain broadcasters. I do not like when they call it that. It is Maggots and Beckett's. As we come on through, the hangar straight's going to be the telltale sign of how fast this car goes down a straight here at Silverstone. Is he going to get above 250 before the braking zone? He does. Yeah, it's about 260 was the top pace there.
Just hit 260. Just hit 260. That was pretty good. So that for the English fans out there, that's 162 miles per hour, 162.5. So these boys have all pitted. The top 4 have all pitted, giving us Davis, Burridge, Crosby, Kennedy. Let's see what happens. See who's got what strategy. Who's going to come in? Who's going to pit shorter and take the risk? So everyone is following in. Everyone is coming in. There's going to be carnage in here. Someone makes a mistake. Even Daly, everyone is coming in. No, we've got everyone is still coming in.
So it's kind of a race of halves now. You know, half the field came in before. The rest of the field's coming in now. Miles Burgess, currently the highest placed position car, who came into the pits on lap 14. Leader has crossed the line to start lap 16.
Have you got the front end? You got the front drivers out? Show me. Davis has come out first. No one's done any passing in the pits. Crosby's passed
first.
Crosby's come out in front of Burridge. I don't know if they've done that on purpose, or did Crosby just take that little bit less fuel?
I reckon he did. He did indeed. Burridge's was 1 minute 1 second for a lane travel. Crosby's was 59.42, and he took
Crosby's actual pit. Crosby's actual pit is at 27.07 compared to Burridge's 28.65. So that's nearly 1.5 seconds difference. Kennedy, the 28.43. So he's up there with Burridge's, and also Davis, who did a 28.2.
So Davis managed to, he has, and he's managed to gap them a little bit. So now it should just be a straight run home for him at this stage, I would say. You know, I'd say this is him now. It's just a straight sprint. No safety cars just yet tonight. I thought maybe we were going to see some after lap 1 shenanigans.
As well, I picked 1 safety car tonight. So
when did you say that?
No, I didn't say it out loud. In my head, I was picking 1 safety car, but I'm very surprised. Some of the driving. Well, look at the driving we had before. 5 cars within a tenth of each other. 3 wide in one corner, 2 wide and 2 wide behind them, and no contact. It's still awesome driving. That's some of the best driving I've seen in a long time out here.
So Burgess, who actually committed to his redress coming into the lane, has actually managed to stay ahead of Cowie after the pit stops. That's a bit questionable to do that. I don't know if that is in fair play or not.
What do you mean? He's pitted. He's pitted. He's readdressed. It's taken him a while to get the spot back.
That's true.
Yeah.
Josh King has had an incident though. He is still running. What's he done? How has this occurred here? For the man running the HRT livery from the early 2010s. He's come on
Not
through.
a whole means, but I do like that livery. Oh, what's he done?
He's just
Hyperlocked it or
spun it.
something?
Yeah, he's at that, unless it
He's
was.
got down a gear or something because he was already straight there.
I doubt it was a compression. I think what he's done is he's just caught that. You know, the curbs here can be quite slippery, and obviously the supercar doesn't particularly like curbs that much.
Definitely not a downshift. That's for sure.
No, it wouldn't have been a compression lock. I think that was literally a bit too much throttle catching a curb, and it was kind of the difference of coming off the tarmac and onto the curb, and that's just what's looped it. You know, that difference in traction.
Rick Vigor is on the back of Craig Healy with 0.5, 0.2 dancing behind him. So these guys are getting comfortable together at a tango at the back end of the track. Everywhere else that we see, people are gapping each other out, and we've got a couple of close fights, but nothing really dramatic. Crosby has got himself back from Jamie Davis's early takeoff. He was a second and a bit away. He's got himself back to under a second, so he's nice and tidy across there.
I'll tell you what, Steve. You know what we really need right now?
Safety car?
A safety car. We need a safety car right now. Just to bunch them back up, have a little bit of a reset.
Let me get my mobile. All right, Tyson. We need a safety car.
No, just, hey, Mitch, can we have a bit of a crash gate happen, please? Can you just get the car stuck in the wall so then so we can get a safety car out there? But now just to bunch the field back up a little bit, get everyone onto the lead lap, and then straight run home for the last 20 or so minutes. You know, just to get that little bit of not excitement back into it. Obviously, there's still some excitement out there. We've still got some nice little tight battles, but it will bring everyone back into it with an opportunity, and we might see some dangerous plays from certain drivers to take advantage of the fact that, hey, I'm actually right up on the back of the car ahead of me now. I could actually make this position happen, you know, in the last 20 minutes. So, you know, I'm hopeful. We've only got 15 minutes. We are
It's a sprint now,
20
mate. It's a
odd
sprint
minutes.
all the way to the end. JP goes, Steve, pick my lottery numbers, but pick them in your head. And don't forget to tell me. But JP, pick a number between 1 and 10, and I'll tell you if you're correct.
Doesn't work if you change the number every single time he asks you if it's correct.
No, he might be getting spot on.
Hey, that's right, Reese. Everyone, if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe. Hit the bell icon as well so you are notified anytime we go live with racing. And hit the like button, because if you hit the like button, we've got a high chance of getting a safety car out there. We've seen that happen before. Tyson has been in the chat and says hit the like button, and then suddenly we've got a safety car happening. But yeah, also big thank you as well to all of our sponsors for SRWtv as well. Warren & Brown Tools, Shannon's Insurance, Grim Industries as well, NeuroPower, Motorsport Australia, DSL Rail Services, and Shunt Scenery. Thank you for supporting the series. Thank you to everyone for taking time out of your day, out of your afternoon, out of your evening, wherever it is you are in the world. Thank you for bringing us into your home or into your workplace as they did yesterday afternoon when we broadcasted the Pro-Am. We appreciate you taking that time.
We need to go to the front row, mate. We've got an attack happening. Crosby is all the way on the back of Jamie, and he's putting pressure on like crazy. These boys are really putting on a show at the front. They're 0.19, 2/10 basically between them, and they've got some back markers coming up as well, which is going to make it very interesting. They're slowly catching the guys in front of them, and it could get messy with back markers. We've seen it before happen. It should see how it comes up. Brad Anderson just called something in as well. We'll have a look. But it looks behind him. Burridge and Kennedy have just cruising along, thinking, yep, we've got second. I don't know if Kennedy's going to make a launch onto Burridge for third, though.
We'll have to wait and see here. Peter Morris pulls up out of the way. That's how you get it done there, Steve. If you're going to pull over and let the blue flag drivers past you, just do it into the braking zone. You know, pull offline, let them get the braking marker better, and then slot back in behind. Yeah, that's how it's done. You don't need to go off track.
You are spot on. It was number 4, mate. Buy a lotto ticket, mate.
Are you just saying that to appease him, or was it actually number 4? 38 minutes, though, into this session. Crosby up the inside, but the switchback comes from Davis. He'll reclaim the lead as we come up onto the straight. These boys are far from done. So Davis, the former pro, now Pro-Am driver, freshly into the Pro-Ams, gets to battle for a win here tonight on his birthday. But Crosby wants it up the inside once again as we come on round. JP saying, Hamish, doesn't matter, I'm off to the shop. Crosby has been great racing. He reclaims the lead to Davis now P2. Burridge Kennedy in 4th and 3rd. 3rd for Burridge, 4th for Kennedy. Burgess makes up the 5. Davis wants it round the inside once again, but Crosby cuts the nose off like he's given him a nose job there. Just shrinks him back a little bit. 3.5 tenths is the gap between these guys. So the Battle of the Mustangs is not quite over yet, Steve. And this is just heating up for the final. The battle is just heating up here for the final 20 or so minutes.
Yeah, he won't be giving this up very quickly. But the thing is, will Crosby play the team game and back him up onto his teammates?
I don't know. I don't know if he does that, because I think Davis is hungry enough to go for a move any which way it comes. I think Crosby just has to drive at full pace at this stage. He cannot give Davis any wiggle room at all. He cannot give him anything. So I think he just needs to try and, drive that M1 Mustang as quickly as possible, keep the 66 car in P1 and hope that Burridge and Kennedy can get up onto the back of the 92 car just to put some pressure on him a little bit.
I believe everything you tell me, mate.
Well, I mean, the
boys are just, it's so far back, Steve. 2 seconds is the time, and Davis looking spicy. Yeah, look, I think Davis is probably, we've got 20 minutes left, so he's at a point now where he's been fighting off Crosby for a while. He needs his tyres to come back a little bit, maybe sit back and sit behind Crosby, fuel save a little bit, and then launch another attack in a couple of more laps. They've got enough of a gap between themselves and the rest of the M1 team. They're 2.8 seconds. As long as they've got that sort of gap, I think Jamie is safe, but he needs to keep the pressure on the back of Crosby.
So Davis has done so well up to this point. We're going to head back to one of the other battles we were keeping an eye on. It's Billy Mole versus Andrew Cowan versus Jackson Pringle. This battle has just been starting to heat up a little bit over the past couple of laps, Steve. And, well, we're just really starting to get into our flavour here, if you will, with Pringle up the front. Cowie will want to try and pop an overtake here on him and just try and keep the pressure off the back of him here from Mole in behind.
Yeah, they've been consistently swapping places, these guys, haven't they?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, as you said, they've just been, swapping and changing positions, and there was some great racing between them. I know Cowie will be absolutely loving it. He's won for fantastic battling. I reckon he'll be talking my ear off tomorrow night for the F3s based on the battle that we saw earlier with the 5 cars involved, which I'll love to hear his perspective tomorrow night. As we come up
we might have to wait till Monday night when a ticket gets risen.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
A couple of drivers have gone
had a
off.
bit of an off then as well at the back of the
as well
grid.
as Simpson as well. He is back on, so
yeah.
No indication of a safety car just yet. Still on board
He's
though
up
with
close
Mole.
from just a bit of different split timing of braking and accelerating, and it's nearly connected in the back there. But these boys are very consistent time-wise against each other. The difference in lap pace is virtually tenths. 204.78, 204.81 and 204.93. So these guys are literally lapping a couple of tenths amongst. Oh, Cowie's had a bit of a sniff there. The back car has nearly opened up the door for him, but he's thought better of it. But he's still hot on the heels. It's brought the 4th car behind them back into the race, which is Troy Dooley. So Troy Dooley is slowly catching him as well.
Yeah, he's a bit further back. That being the car at the back of this little three-peat here is the back marker of Peter Morris.
Oh, is that it? Oh, bloody hell.
Yeah, I know. So, and what we saw before was Cowie just properly jumping the curb as he went up the inside of Morris, who's giving him the spot. So he's pushing hard here to get up onto the back of Pringle. Pringle is driving very, very well for an amateur, and I think, you know, next season, if he drives like this for the rest of this season, we'll be seeing him with a black banner on his car. Don't you worry about that.
100%. So in the amateurs at the moment, we've got Pringle in first place, Martin in second, and Fitzpatrick. Oh, all three of them gone off at that point. Crazy driving. And Fitzpatrick in third.
For the Pro-Ams, of course, it is Crosby, Davis and Burridge, them being the top three in this race, but also the top three in class as well. So they're doing incredibly well. And this will be a big points gain here for Pringle, being that they are scored on the overall rankings, not within their class, but they are compared to the rest of their class. So Pringle will get points for 6, Martin will get points for 14.
Oh, Cowie's got a bit of pressure then. He's trying to come on the inside. I'm not sure what he was doing trying to get the line there. It's really cost him a bit of pace there, and it's brought the car behind him, Billy Mole, right on the back of him then.
Well, I thought there might have been a little
Slightly
bit
missed his brake marker then as well. Is he overheating the tyres a bit? Because he's missed that brake marker by a touch as well then.
He might be just pushing that a little bit hard just to stick it here with Pringle. I mean, this is a hard track to get a move done. You've really got to force it. Like you have to kind of open the door for yourself.
You do. But he looks like he's a little bit off balance there, and he's
jumping the curb again. So he really wants that inside line. And you know what? One thing I would say, right? So obviously he wanted up the inside there. If it were me, it doesn't necessarily matter if it was, you know, open wheelers or supercars or GTs. I would just try and maximise the run down the straight instead of trying to get the move done there, because what's happened now is he's put himself under pressure from Mole in behind.
Yeah, he's lost momentum completely there, and he's brought Mole back into the action there just by trying to take a different angle to put his nose in, get up the butt, and try to take him on one of the long straights and get into the hard braking zone. He was just through those S's. He was just like, it looked like he was out of rhythm, and it was just coming. It was just sort of like making him wiggle the wrong way to the car behind him. Oh, look at this. David Leslie's suffering in the back there.
That was a nice flick spin on the grass. Maybe those 12-hour drivers need to take hints off him.
The fighting there is increasing now. Scotty Weston's right on the back of Troy Dooley now as well. He's like 0.3 on the back of them. He's got himself like crazy. Who was that? Was that my boy Nolan? Where's he gone to?
Mr. Noble.
Mr. Noble, yeah.
He's down here in P23, so
okay.
He's dropped a little
that
bit of
black
gap.
flag drive-through cost him a lot of places that he hasn't seemed to be able to recover from.
So what we can see now is Jamie Davis has got a 4-second lead over Chris Burridge and Stephen Kennedy up the front here. And here's where Pringle, Cowan and Mole is. And Steve, this harkens back to the last lap before the straight. Look at how much Cowie has now lost out because he misused the run down the straight on Pringle. Pringle's just been able to keep on flowing round. Cowan's gone out wide.
He's gone real wide. He's trying to keep momentum. He's actually got himself... He's kept the momentum, but has he got a slowdown there? Because that was pretty wide. I know that you can get away with the slowdown around that corner there, depending on where your re-entry point is. If you re-enter on the same part of the ripple strip, you can make it back in. But if you re-enter after the ripple strip, Cowie, look at him go. He's feeling the heat.
And he's pushing way too hard. Like again, he wanted the attack last lap. It cost him the run down the straight, and now he's really hurting for it because now, instead of being able to put pressure on a car ahead, he's only got pressure from the car in behind, and he's having to defend for it. So we could be up here for a good battle coming up towards the last 10 minutes of this race. We are about 7 minutes away from no safety cars at all in this race. You are exactly right there, Mr. Crash Clark. Scotty Weston, who's now gotten past Troy Dooley,
He is. I've been watching him very closely. He's launching a bit of an attack. Cowie's got to remember, he's not racing Martin. So he's got to be he's not racing Billy Mole. So he can't. He doesn't want to burn his tyres out and risk the fact that Martin's going to catch him all the way back from behind.
Hang on. So Cowan is racing Billy Mole. Cowan is a.
Oh, you got him highlighted. Is that why he's on the?
Yeah. So he's not technically racing Pringle, right?
We've got to change that colour, mate.
Yeah, we'll change it to the blue. So it so it suits a little bit better.
That just threw me then. I thought they were in the same class.
That's fine. We can change that quite easily.
Billy Mole's got pressure on him like crazy. Cowie, just keep it clean, mate. You know you've got that position there. You just need to fight it. Top 10 finish for Cowie would be good at this time of the year. Daniel Clark, sorry, Jen's PC crashed. Hopefully didn't cause any issues. No, it's all go, all good. What's Tyson got his little thing and with a zipper on it? He wants us to keep quiet about Cowie or something, or does he want us to not show the action?
I don't know. I don't
know. Back in your box, Tyson. Oh, there's Cowie. He's just lost the rear end then and gone round. Oh, we've got to go back and have a look at that. Was there contact or was he just putting the jangle down too hard?
We'll have a look here. So Cowie's gone off track. We can actually get
He's
it up.
pulled it in, so just there's contact. Oh, there was contact. I don't know how deliberate that was. I don't think it was deliberate, but it's caused Cowie a fair bit of angst there, and he's lost himself a fair few places.
Josh King also had an incident a bit further round a while ago. I'm not sure. Oh, he's done it again. That's 2 times that King's been caught up at that corner. Like twice over.
It is what it is, mate. It is what it is.
But I've fixed that selection now somewhat. The selection is now transparent for some reason, so at least we actually have got somewhat of a difference between them. But we'll try and get that blue for next race for sure. But Billy Mole, he's managed to get by Cowie, but there could be a penalty coming his way. Weston's now eking up on the back.
Taking advantage of that gap, yeah.
He is.
Well, we are down to how many minutes, mate? We are
just
down
under
to 6
minutes. 9.5 minutes to go.
Yep. And we've still got Jamie Davis sitting at the top with 0.6 behind him. Now, they have gapped Barrage and Kennedy. So Barrage and Kennedy have slipped off the back of these two guys. But Kennedy can still sneak in for 3rd place because he's only 1 second off the pace from Barrage. And then we have our AMS, Mr. Pringle, taking it out quite easily on his own there. And he's gapped the next AM, which is Steve Martin in 14th place. And Martin is sitting in a world of his own as well, with Schultze in 3rd. So there might be something there for Mr. Tyson McAvoy to smile about, because they might get Schultze on podium by the look of it.
Well, it's looking more and more likely. Fitzpatrick bit further back. He's under immense pressure here from the round 1 winner in Rick Vigar, so still some good pressure coming from in behind, but we'll head back to the I better click off, but Vigar wants to move. We'll stick on, you know what, we'll stick on this here for a minute. We'll see how this goes.
Yeah, we've got
like
a little bit of time up our sleeves. The gap at the front is 8 tenths from Davis to Crosby, so they're in cruise control, and Rick Vigar is putting the his fingerprints all over the back of this car in front of him, so he's itching to get past.
He wants this move. We'll show you as well what the gap is from the leader. So this is how far back all the cars are off the back of the leader. So we have got somewhat of an idea. Not everyone has been lapped though at this stage. Sean Vandermeulen has had an incident. What has happened to him? He's been struggling all day, Steve, and he hasn't actually come back on track just yet. Now he has, but this is what's happened to him. So, he's done the same thing. Same thing as King.
Well, Jeremy Bush has got a black flag as well, so he's gone in for a bit of a drive-through too.
This guy's still battling it out hard, as you mentioned. Vigar just wants this move. He's not going to catch Schultze anytime soon. Fitzy won't want to give anything away, because if something happens to Schultze up ahead, he wants to be, perfect conditioning to take advantage and get onto that podium for the amateurs. Dooley has just trying to chase down Scotty Weston at this point. Weston, though, he's trying to get by. Mole has actually been off track, so he's actually dropped some spots. That's why he's out of this battle now.
Yeah.
So everyone's just starting to spread out a little bit here, Steve, but Smith and Dooley still battling it out hard. Smith wants it up the inside, not quite close enough there.
Oh, Jesus, that was a bit... Oh, I don't know that one.
I think the camera angle kind of made it look a lot worse than what it actually was.
Yeah.
Because it kind of looks right at the apex, so...
Yeah. It looked like it was going to go straight into his B pillar then. Did we haven't heard back on the incident between Billy Mole and Cowan yet, so I haven't heard if there's anything been decided by race control.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure.
It was definitely called in by Cowan.
Yeah, I mean, it would have to be, surely. Like,
yeah,
you'd be pretty hard pressed to not call that in.
Looks like the M1 boys have settled for first and third, and Kennedy is backed off a little bit. He's 1.3 seconds off the back of him, and we are sitting at what do we got? Less than 6 minutes to go.
Yeah, so we're about 50 odd seconds away from guaranteed no safety cars here out at Silverstone. This is a track that I come to, Steve, and I think it doesn't lend itself well to safety cars, but sometimes some driver error can lead to safety cars, if there's collisions that actually happen on track, because it is such a wide and open layout, hardly any concrete walls close by to the actual circuit. But then we came to lap 1 and we saw the instance of happening. I'm like, we might have one here. But then everyone's kind of just settled down and it's gone back to the Silverstone of old.
Yeah, it's the gaps are too big at this point. I think the only area that you're really going to be able to get an incident is between Vigor, Fitzpatrick and Healy, because they're all within a couple of tenths of each other. They were. Healy's just dropped off the back of them. But Fitzpatrick and Vigor are still fighting. Vigor got in front of him, and Fitzpatrick is now chasing him down again. But the only real place is to have a incident is that tight left-hander after I can't even know what it's called at this moment. What's it called?
Brooklands?
Oh, it's the third corner or something like that. The third, then you got a hard left straight away. That left-hander tends to get you a few spinners here and there.
So we're watching this P1, P2 battle, but the gap has just started to spread out. So unfortunately, Steve, we haven't gotten the safety car that we so wanted, just to kind of bring the drivers back in together for contention. And now the whole field pretty much has spread out to over a second between each other. A couple of little battles in there, but we kind of want to keep an eye on this, because we want to see if one of these boys make a mistake, the other one is going to want to try and take advantage as best they can.
Billy Mole has got a drive through.
Yeah, and I think that's pretty fair. That's that goes pretty consistent with that incident that happened. So unfortunate for him, but hopefully he'll learn from that and try not to make a similar mistake again, of course. But good to see off the back there of Crosby's car. And tell you what, not just Crosby, but Davis, even Burridge and Kennedy, they've all done exceptionally well here tonight to just cut absolutely consistent laps, lap after lap, and in the first half of this race have an absolutely incredible battle. Hang on, JP, you're calling it. Hang on, JP, you're calling the incident between Billy and Cowie soft for Billy knocking Cowie off.
I don't think he's seen the whole incident, because we only flashed back to the leftover of it. It was a complete looked like an off track, and it's like, oh, look at that, here we go. There's a little bit of carnage there. Just to finish it off for the night. What's that? Smith's gone through. Have they contacted, or has he just spun under brakes?
They were both spun round. Oh, he sent it. He's just sent it way too hard.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. He sent it. He's readdressed it, but oh no, that was like re-entry was a bit clumsy there. So basically, the rule is if you readdress, if you've caused too much trouble and too many positions are lost, you will get the drive through either way. It is better not to readdress it, unfortunately, and as much of a gentleman show it is better to not readdress it and let the RC do their job. Yeah, there it is there. There's the little snippet of a push that we see. Looks like my SDK is about to die any seconds. We are down to the last few minutes of this race, and Jamie Davis has gapped it down to 1:16. So he is now consoled himself to second place, and he's going to make sure he finishes in that place and not do anything silly by the look of it.
Yeah, I think exactly right there. He wants to confirm the P2. You know, Crosby this will help his championship run. You know, so a bit of a curb up there from Davis. But
Here we go.
this
Is he going to do a bit of a drift show for us, or is he just going to take it nice and easy? Come on, Crosby. Show us a bit of that. Show us a bit of that rear end sliding out. No, don't, mate. I don't want to be responsible for you spinning out and then Jamie taking it.
So I think we may have 2 laps to go, Steve.
Yes.
Because even though we're within 2 minutes now, when they crossed the line, there was less. There was more than what a lap is worth. So we could be on here for a 31 lap race here tonight. So Crosby doing exceptionally well so far. So is Davis. So yeah, Tice explaining it completely perfectly. He got loose and took another car out.
Look, you know, everyone's, it's all part of the, everyone's watching it, enjoying it and loving it and getting excited. I love it. The more people out there chattering about what's going on, the more I enjoy the racing that we've got on for show. And there's Mr. Crosby just fanging it close to the fence there and stretching it out as much as possible. He's down to 1.49 in the gap and really showing some great driving skills out there. His best lap for him tonight was a 2:03.759. But the fastest lap, by the look of it, is actually Chris Burridge of the 2:03.485 for this race.
Yeah, it's the only 4 drivers. Sorry, I'm looking down now. Only 5 drivers have gotten into the 3s here tonight. Them being Darren Crosby, Chris Burridge, Miles Burgess, Jackson Pringle, and Troy Dooley. Everyone else has either been in a 4 or worse.
Yeah. And in the AMs, we're looking at the moment, the way current positions are standing is Pringle, Martin and Schultz. So it looks like a PSR driver will get on the podium tonight.
Well, Crosby's going to come around the final corner. Checker flag is flying here for Darren Crosby. He will take out the victory for round number 4. Jamie Davis on his birthday will come home P2. Burridge that's Kennedy. Burridge after an exceptional run will come home in P3. Kennedy drifts round the final corner. He gets in to P4. Big slide there. Pringle's going to come home in P6 overall. P1 for class. It was a great run from him here tonight. It's good to see from him.
Quashi's on the back of on Smith for a pass on the way to the finish line, that's for sure. Look at this battle here. These boys are finding it all the way to the very end. Cowan's involved, Quash involved, and Fitz. Great little bit of racing there, boys. Well done. All the way to the fight to the finish. I love it.
Steve Martin now. He comes round after a consistent race. He'll come home P14 overall, but P2 in the amateurs. So it's a good run there from the Pacific Esports driver. He crosses the line. Daniel Schultz, the adversary, he will come home not too far behind him into P3 in class. Viger in behind him as well, and then Fitzpatrick lost out to him a bit earlier on. So those are our podiums: Crosby, Davis, Burridge, and then Pringle, Martin, and Schultz. It was a good run from them.
Yeah. Yep, I agree. That was some spectacular racing. I reckon I agree with Tyson on that one, mate. These boys are having a debate on it. Well done, boys. Proud right here. Super awesome. Jamie, happy birthday again. P2, what a way to end the day. Well, I hope Jamie's got a few candles to blow out tonight and enjoy his birthday. A second for a race like this is nothing to be sneezed at. It's spectacular driving from all the boys out the front.
I hope we can agree here, Stephen. We're not singing him happy birthday when he's in here. If he's come and have a chat to us. Definitely not.
It's like, yeah, maybe we have to. Who knows? We might have to start a new tradition, mate.
Oh, if you do that, I'm leaving. I'm not putting anyone else through that. No, I'm joking, but it was a great run though. I mean, Crosby, he did well to get past Burridge out of that pit stop, and then managed to get the battle on with Davis there just after the pit stop period, and then got past him for P1, and then it was just a straight run home from him there. So it was it's Silverstone. It was a race of two halves, I would say. I'd say the first half was absolutely phenomenal, bit of carnage here or there, and some absolutely great battles. In the second half, we said it would be a sprint, but it was more like a power walk home for most of the field, I think is fair to say. I would say so far, Steve, race of the season was Sonoma last week. Like,
yeah,
even though it was ballistically hot and absolutely scorching out there was some phenomenal racing. I think tonight, first half of the race was fantastic. Second half of the race, a little bit of a letdown. But you can get that at Silverstone, can't you? You can go either way whenever you come racing here.
100%.
And that's the gamble you play, whenever you race here. So, it was good to see nonetheless.
You know what? It's never a dull moment with these V8s at the moment. It's been crazy racing all the way from the beginning of the season to the end of the season. Well, not even, I should say, from the beginning of the season to this very moment, not to the end of the season, because it's been spectacular. And you know what? On top of that, 25 plus nearly 30 people on total show tonight watching it on a Tuesday night is pretty bloody spectacular. I'm super pumped.
So here are our provisional amateur results here tonight. Jackson Pringle will come home in P1 ahead of Stephen Martin out of P2. Daniel Schultz then comes home out of P3 with Blake Fitzpatrick not too far behind him there in P4. Brett Taylor will come home in P5 with Mitchie Noble out of P6. Shane Newens then comes home in P7 with David Leslie in behind in P8. Then we've got Peter Morris, Josh King, Sean Vandermeulen and Brad Anderson, who all kind of struggled a little bit here tonight. They come home just at the end of the standings there. Then for the Pro-Ams, as you have Crosby pulling up for us, Darren Crosby comes home in P1 for M1 Racing. He'll finish ahead of Jamie Davis in P2 with Chris Burridge and Stephen Kennedy in behind. Miles Burgess will make up the top 5 here tonight with Scotty Weston, Sean Smith, Michael Quash, Troy Dooley and Billy Mole making up the top 10. Then we've got Travis Daly just outside the 10 with Rick Viger in behind, Craig Healy in P13, Andrew Cowan in P14, and then Jeremy Bush makes up the top 15 with Peter Vanderkraan, Adam Simpson, Daniel Clutterbuck, who unfortunately had some issues. He was out with 10 laps down, and then Darren Walden was out 19 laps down in the proceedings as well. For our overall standings, this is how they will get scored comparatively to their own classes. So Darren Crosby will get scored the most points here tonight after taking out the overall victory with Jamie Davis, Chris Burridge in behind there for the podium, and then obviously Jackson Pringle in P6 with Martin and Schultze down in 13th and 14th. He's going to get a massive points gain over those boys in terms of the amateur class. So it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out now for the rest of the season here, Steve, to see who's really going to get the advantage going forward for these moments. We have got Steve Martin, though, in the green room. We could bring him in. He finished out a P2 for the amateurs. I reckon we bring him in and we have a quick chat to him and see how that battle was going on with Schultze there for the majority of proceedings.
Go for it, mate. Here he is. Mr. Martin, how you going, buddy? How was that for you?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Got tangled up in a little bit of stuff at the start, so might have had a little bit of damage, and then a bit of fuel saving at the end. Was worried if we went an extra lap, I might have been in trouble. So yeah, solid. Happy enough with that.
As long as you had fun, that's the most important thing for me, mate.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, it's good getting back into it. Had a fairly decent break and tried to make a couple of comebacks, and just scheduling hasn't worked out. So yeah, happy to be reasonably consistent making most weeks at the moment. So it's good.
No, it is good, mate. It's good to see you out on track again, mate. It's good to see you out there having fun, which is the most important thing, and getting amongst it as well, which is fantastic. Is this your first podium for the season?
It is, yeah. Been a bit rusty. Always watching you guys on YouTube, even when I wasn't racing, so it always gives you itchy feet to be back amongst it. And yeah, it's good to have a little bit of some form, I guess.
Well, it's hard for me. Don't worry, I haven't done V8s now for 2 seasons, and it's hard for me watching as well because I do love driving them. Even though I am crap, it doesn't mean that you don't like driving them, even if you can't drive them. But it's good to see the fights out there. There's a lot of space given amongst the boys, and at some points there, you guys were like 5 wide, 5 deep. It was nuts.
Yeah, I think it's there's a lot of respect given. I think the league's always been really good for that. It's always the first couple of corners is always just a challenge, that bit of vision and a bit of red mist and things. But I think on the general, obviously the league's got a lot of respect amongst the drivers. It's just that cooler heads prevail through the first couple of corners, and then it's all pretty good after that.
Yeah, it generally is the case, and we haven't had correct me if I'm wrong, Hamish, but we haven't had a massive carnage on the first corner for any of this season so far. Not that I can remember, anyway.
No, there's been a couple little incidents here or there, but nothing like of like red flag level if it was real life racing or definite safety car off the back of it. It's always just been someone's been turned round or there's been a couple little incidents here or there. People have been able to keep going though, but. I think that helps with the fact that the supercars are actually quite, they're quite strong compared to the likes of the F3s. Where if we get a lap 1 incident, F3s almost guaranteed a safety car. Where these ones are a little bit more robust, so they can withstand a bit more abuse from other cars on track. So. But no, not quite yet this season. I don't even think we've had any for the pros really.
No, well, I don't think we have either, mate. I think it's been epic, and as you said, Steve, it's the respect out there is very prevalent in this series and this league all over the place. It's just the way to get 5 cars coming around some of those S's tonight, 2x2x2 was absolutely spectacular, mate. Who do you have to thank for supporting you and getting you out on track as part of your team?
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, thanks to Lake Edge guys, teammate Fitz in here with me tonight, trying to work through it. So, Pacific Esports, I'm trying to remember everybody to cover off on. Tim Nickel Photography, Bin the Blade. There's plenty of the team guys giving the support and just encouraging me to get back into it. And yeah, thanks to you guys for what you do and making it happen.
Well, it's a pleasure having you back on board, mate. And most important thing, it's a pleasure to have you out there having fun and kicking some ass again.
Cheers, fellas. Thank you.
All right, good luck for the rest of the season, dude.
Cheers.
All right, mate. Who are we bringing up next? Is it Schultz?
Yeah, we got Schultz in there, so we'll drag him in.
Okay.
I'll find him on my list. So
hey, Trader, how you going? I mean, Daniel Schultz, how are you going?
Yeah, I see how it is.
How are you, mate? Good to see you up at the podium. I guess Tyson's pretty happy about that.
Yeah, he definitely want to be happy. Let me tell you, it was some hectic race.
It was. You kept out of trouble tonight.
Oh, except for turn 1.
Yeah, I did say that. But yeah, apart from that, you were a little bit safer than I've seen you drive usually.
Yeah, well, it was all about getting to the end on this one, and I knew fuel was going to be critical, and the undercut was massive, so I just had to stay out of trouble and not be so aggressive. We're still getting to learn the drivers around us as well, so can't just go diving in.
Yeah. You and not aggressive. Oh, I don't think I've heard that in the same sentence before.
I was about to say, what do you mean not dive in? The supercar is obviously a lick the stamp and send it type of car.
Don't worry, Schultz knows how to lick it and send a stamp, mate. He does it a lot. He's done it a lot. I can still remember. I'm having flashbacks of Red Bull first corner.
Send it.
Yeah, that's a while ago though. It's good to see you back on track, mate. How's the foot?
The foot is a lot better than what it was. So yeah, we're little niggles, but we're getting there.
So those of you who don't know Schultz, he used to race for SRW. Anyway, he decided he was going to be Superman and run outside of his Sydney tool store and chase down a thief who's jumped in a car and thought he would try to stop the car off his body.
Yeah, I mean, look, the long and short of it, yeah, you could do that.
Yeah. Good on you, mate. Well, it's good to see you back on track and having fun, and I'm glad to see you racing a team like PSR. The boys are really good and supportive out there, so they'll tame the beast that's inside you and make you a better driver, I think.
Yeah, well, I think it's already started to happen, as you can tell. Not aggressive tonight. Like, what's going on there?
Yeah. I'm gonna have to watch it back to see if I've missed something because I'm dumbfounded by it.
I bet you are, mate.
All right, here's a test for you, mate. Who do you have to thank that supports PSR and
Oh.
gets you guys on track?
Look, got to thank Tyson straight up for giving me the opportunity to come in and race for these guys at Performance Sim Racing. It's been a pretty interesting couple of rounds to start. So we're on the right track, and I think they're definitely helping out. Toyo Sim for jumping on board. Too Easy Finance. Don't forget, you got to remember, talk to me, bro. If you do it, hashtag talk to me, bro. Make it happen. West End Mazda, Track Racer, Isuzu Parramatta, Cowie Music. Can't forget old mate Cowie, the solo acoustic rock, absolute weapon, and West End Motor Group. I still want to thank all those guys very much, and thank you again, Tyson, for giving me the opportunity to drive for you guys.
Yeah, and I'm sure Tyson would love you to thank Harvey Norman as well.
Yes, definitely Harvey Norman. Sorry, I'm still getting used to all the sponsors we got, so I'm
That's
getting
all right,
I
mate.
apologize
That's
for
what we're here to help where we can. All right, mate. Get out of here, have fun, and enjoy the rest of the season, dude.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Cheers, buddy. All right, who we got next, mate?
Well, we've got both the M1 boys and Mr. Davis. I reckon we bring Jamie in first, and then we'll bring in both the M1 boys together, because we can have a chat to them about how they were kind of taking on that role of trying to fight him together, pretty much. So we'll get Jamie.
Let's
in,
bring Jamie in. Hello, Mr. Davis. How you doing? Congratulations on your podium.
I'm good. Are you?
Also, we heard, Jamie, it's your birthday today, apparently. Is that true?
Yes, that is true.
Oh, well, happy birthday from us and everyone else at SRWtv. Had a good run here tonight,
I
mate.
hope you can hear that then. Hear it? I was playing a bit of Stevie Wonder. Happy birthday there for you, mate.
Oh, no, we couldn't hear it, Steve, unfortunately, but that might cop us a strike if we're not careful, so probably best that we
No,
didn't
it's
hear
got to
it.
be less than 9 seconds, mate, and it was less than 9 seconds.
Oh, well, thanks,
Thank
JP.
you very much,
Appreciate
fellas.
you coming in here, boys. Coming in here, mate. But Jamie, great run from you tonight, mate. Obviously qualified the car well into the Pro-Am after being in the pros for the first part of this season. Obviously, you were going up against 3 M1 cars at the front of the field there for the majority of the race. What was kind of some of your thought processes after qualifying and in that race start, knowing that there were 3 of those boys around you who were going to be, attacking you like tigers out there, just trying to, pick you apart and get all 3 cars on the podium if they could?
I know the M1 boys, they're quick, they race hard, but they race fair, so I knew I could show me nose somewhere and not have it swiped off or have any contact. So yeah, no, that was great fun with all the M1 boys.
And your pace is getting better and better, mate. Are you feeling more comfortable with the drivers around you?
Yeah, I feel like some tracks I've improved and then others I haven't really gone anywhere, but yeah, I struggled a little bit in practice, then started getting the flow. And then I just absolutely killed the tyres. I couldn't hang with Crosby there.
Yeah, he's a different breed. That Mr. Crosby, he's got a bit of pace on him. And how was he like pressure wise in the back of you? Could you almost feel the heat?
Yeah, he definitely applied the blowtorch. Had a lunge. I seen it coming, and then I just couldn't get the power down. He drove around me again.
Oh, it's nice to see you out there. And it's your birthday, mate. How old?
32.
32. Oh, you're a pup, mate.
So I keep getting told.
Yeah, compared to me, you're a pup, mate. Yeah, definitely. It's good to see you out there, mate. Now you need to send me a DM, and I want to hear a yes at the end of that DM, because I'm kind of sick of watching that car going around white, especially after a performance like tonight.
Well, things have been a little bit hectic. That's why I'm back in the Pro-Ams. I can't race on Sundays anymore. Just got a promotion at work, so I got to do trailer changeover.
That's good to see, mate. Good to see real life getting a promotion, all that sort of stuff. And you know what? At the end of the day, you just got to have fun and race where you can race. And racing on Tuesday night, this could be start of a title attack.
Oh no, I'm not worried about the title. Well, I was starting on 0 points and stuff. I'm in here purely because I absolutely love racing, love the league, and all the boys racing around. That's grouse.
Oh, good to hear, mate. Is there? I know the livery's blank and it's white, but is there anyone you want to thank for that gets you out on track and supports you?
No, I got no one sponsor-wise or anything, but just thanks to all the supporters that tune in. Yeah, you guys in the com box, race control, everyone who just puts his league on.
Anyone that's watching that you want to thank?
Mum, dad, couple of friends.
I was about to say you better thank some viewers because there's people out there that's been backing you all the way. Laura Anderson's been waving your flag all night, so she's she's actually told us it was your birthday. So good to see you out there and having a bit of fun, mate. Look, congratulations on the podium, dude, and it's great to see you driving, getting better and better. And good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you very much, guys. Hope to speak to you guys soon.
All right, legend, catch you. All right, do we want both these M1 boys in here?
Oh, we might as well, mate. Might as well bring them both.
Might as well. The team of the moment getting the top 4 positions, the M1 team themselves, Mr. Chris Burridge and Darren Crosby. How are you, lads?
Hey, g'day, Steve. How are you, buddy?
Very good.
Oh, very good, mate. Had a blast calling the race again tonight. A lot of fun. Me and Hamish have doing the V8s all week is starting to really enjoy it a bit more and more as we get into it. But watching you guys race on a Tuesday night has been spectacular of late. And I wasn't too sure, Crosby, if you're going to back up Jamie at any point and let Chris have a bit of an attack, but it wasn't part of your strategy.
No, well, I didn't really look to see where those guys were, but they just dropped off a little bit, so I just had to go for it. I was a little bit worried about Jamie. I was getting out a second, and then he was coming back half a second, and then I just had to stay clean at the end of the race there, and I sort of pushed a little bit harder in that last 2 minutes of the race just to get a little bit of a buffer on him because he's a pretty good racer and he can get up behind you and come past you pretty quick.
Did you take a little bit less fuel? Because your stop was about a second faster than everyone else. Actually, second faster than Chris's.
No, I
second
filled up. I put 66 in.
Yeah, all the way up.
Well, I had to. Number 66, I got to put 66 in. You know, it's all these little omens. You know.
You're not that superstitious, are you?
A little bit.
Did you put socks on at the same time, or left foot then right foot?
Left and then right, and then have 2 swigs of beer before the start of the race. So only 2.
Love it. So, Chris, how was it behind Crosby? At one point, we thought you were going to take the race out, and then I think the change was just after the first pit. Yeah.
I stuffed up. I overshot my box. Dang it.
Did you miss your box? We didn't see that.
Yeah, I had to reverse fractionally. that was it. And then, the guys, Jamie and Dazza, got out in front, and I got out of the draft. And basically, they just took it from there. I sort of had the speed, but I didn't want to get too many off tracks and stuff, so just cruised.
I just want to thank Chris at the 18th hour sharing a setup with me that it was better than the one I had. So yeah, thanks for that, Chris.
Yeah, there you go. Worked.
It worked again, Crosby. Well, I see you guys. I'm part of your server, and I see you guys on there all the time, and you practice together as a team. So you're doing the right thing. You get that bond between you guys. I thought at one stage that Kennedy was going to do the same as he did 2 rounds ago, where he fuel saved and just waited and made a lunge near the end. But I think his patience wasn't on tonight.
Yeah, he was pretty close to me most of the time. Just towards the very end, he dropped off a little bit. But I was like, I didn't want to get in his way if he had the speed. But,
I think in that first stint, he definitely sat back and he was just waiting. So he was catching up behind everyone. But I really don't know what happened after the pit stop.
After the change. Because his fastest lap for the night, I think maybe a setup issue for him because he was nearly a full second slower than your best times. Yeah. So you did Crosby, you did a 2:03.7. Yep. Chris did a 2:03.4. So he had the fastest lap of the night. And Kennedy was on a 2:04.2. So he was, I think maybe he wasn't as comfortable as you guys were.
Yeah, probably not, I guess.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I know who you guys need to thank. It's time for you guys to thank it. It's been epic to watch the M1 team come out here and take control of the Pro-Am night for Warren and Brown Tools. Who do you guys need to thank?
Does
all right, there I'll thank M1 News Cars and my teammates. It's great for them to race with them tonight and us all be up there. Also thank Warren and Brown, SRW and SRWtv, and what was the other one? WB Tools. And I'd like to thank for all the guys in the league, Race Control, mate. Very, very fair league. Love racing against you guys, and look forward to the next race.
I got absolute legends, guys. M1 team people who have taken out the top 4 positions, 3 positions out of the top 4, and doing it consistently over the last few rounds. Congratulations, guys. Absolute legends to watch out there. Keep it tight and good luck for the rest of the season.
All right, thanks, Steve. Thanks, Hamish.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks, boys.
Thanks, Chris.
Well, Steve, that will bring an end to our V8 Supercars broadcast for tonight. 2 days in a row, we got to call the Supercars action.
We did,
and it was quite good. As I mentioned, it was a race of halves. Really, first half, absolutely so much carnage happening and battles all around. Second half of the race, a little bit of follow the leader, but again, you get that at Silverstone sometimes. Just the nature of the beast as we go about. You guys can look forward to the next round here for the Supercars series on Tuesday nights. We'll be heading over to Mugello for round number 5. So unfortunately, though, not unfortunately, but SRW will it'll not be the first time we get to see some Supercars action around Mugello. I get a little bit of a taste of it this weekend, so I'll be able to tell you what they're like Sunday night, Steve, when we come back together for the Pro-Am. Although, from what I've been seeing in certain practice sessions, it's looking like it's going to be pretty tasty. And I think that track's really going to suit these cars well. So it's going to be very, very exciting to see that. A new track for SRW. First time we'll be running it here, not only in the Supercars, but I believe also the first time we're actually running it in SRWtv. So it'd be great to have that included in the calendar. Cannot wait for it. You guys have got a big week of racing coming up ahead. We mentioned the majority of the calendar yesterday. Tomorrow night, though, Formula 3 Nationals brought to you by Shannon's Insurance. The next round heading out to Magny Court for round number 4. So it's going to be an absolutely epic night of racing for those little F3s. If you guys want to catch it, it'll be 7:50 Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time right here on Sim Racing World TV. If you guys haven't already, please hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon as well so you are notified anytime we go racing across all 6 nights of racing, including the Warren & Brown Tools V8 Supercars series on Tuesday nights, the Wednesday night Shannon's Insurance Formula 3 Nationals, the Thursday nights Shannon's Insurance Toyota GR86 Nationals, which is also a Motorsport Australia official series, the Friday nights Warren & Brown Tools IMSA Shadow series, the Sunday nights Warren & Brown Tools V8 Supercars Pro-Am series, and then, of course, rounding out the racing week with the Monday night Formula Vs brought to you by Motorsport Australia. That is also an official Motorsport Australia series. But I've been Hamish Munro. Alongside me has been Steve Sinkovic. This has been the Warren & Brown Tools V8 Supercars series, round number 4 out at Silverstone. We thank you for your time. We thank you for joining us. And until tomorrow night, I will see you then. Steve, say to him what you like to say.
I'll be on track. So have fun out there. And as usual, drive hard and stay safe, people.
This is amazing. I was clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mosca and Cam Waters. Almost the same situation. Better contact going down the hill. Sam Noble wants to sniff on Dave Coleman now. Sam Noble bottle right now because tell you what, Bruce Tanak and Jamie Dyke just absolutely drove away from us.